Hollow Knight is a game known for its downright amazing art and atmosphere, so when you see the ancient basin, it's an ugly, dark, and gray, and also scary. And many people, including myself, love that about Hollow Knight, but there is one weird creature, not like any other enemy in Hollow Knight. This creature is the Shadow Creeper, and in today's video, I will explain why this is the most unnerving creature in Hollow Knight. The areas that the shadow creepers appear in are very disturbing when you first look at it. They are all coiled up in one giant room, crawling everywhere, and they don't appear anywhere else. They don't appear in the Pale Ore room. They don't appear on the way to the City of Tears either. They only appear in the Abyss. And that's not just one or two of them, no. It's dozens upon dozens of them crawling on the platforms like it's absolutely nothing. And it's very weird because they should not be here, yet they are. And they've been here for longer than you realize because they appear before you get the King's brand. But this is the least unnatural thing about these creatures that you will see. When you dream nail the Shadow Creeper, it just says ... This is very weird because they don't stutter or even move back when it happens, and it's one of the few enemies in the game that just say ... The Fool Eater, for example, also says this, but it's just a plant. The Shadow Creeper is a different story, however. It isn't like the Crawlid, who processes thoughts even though it's infected. The Shadow Creeper is also infected, so why can't it process thoughts? It doesn't make much sense, but it has to be for some strange reason. The ancient basin is incredibly unnerving due to it being completely silent. No violins, no music, nothing. But the Shadow Creepers don't get the memo, as they make noises when they move. Take a listen. Their noises make you feel like you're not alone, like someone is walking up to you from behind to stab you, and it's not just me who notices this, it's the hunter as well. And speaking of him, in the hunter's journal, the hunter says that he is disturbed by the Shadow Creeper. This is genuinely very weird because the hunter is 20 times the size of a Shadow Creeper, so the fact that he is disturbed by it is very confusing. And it literally says that the Shadow Creepers do not need to drink or eat to survive. This is when things go from unnerving to terrifying, because how can they live without needing anything to consume? Now, it's time to go to Team Cherry's second game, where things get even weirder. One last thing that I forgot to mention is that the arcane eggs that you can find in Hollow Knight and Silksong say that they were born before the birth of Hollow Knight and Farloom, meaning that the Shadow Creepers are thousands of years old. Anyway, back to the video. In Silksong, when going to Act 3, the Shadow Creeper has returned, and it's as weird as before. Using the needle in, they don't respond to it at all, just like the dream nail. But what's also interesting is that they aren't infected anymore, and is transported from Hollow Nest to here. And now it's pretty obvious that these things were probably born from the void. However, there's a bigger, bulkier version off of them, which is called The Shadow Charger is a bigger version off of the Shadow Creeper, along with apparently that these things don't sleep. I do not understand why these things exist. They charge at you and deal 2 damage like usual. It's very weird that they would be able to grow because of like the free things that a human does that they do not. But since these things are probably born from the void, they don't need to consume anything or rest. And why do they get 4 eyes? But if the gloom sacks go from annoying babies to the spawn of frickin' Satan, then it isn't really that much of a stretch. Now you can see why these are the weirdest creatures in the entirety of the Hollow Knight universe. I hope you really enjoyed watching this, as it was very fun making it, and now it's time to go back to waiting for Sea of Sorrow. Stay awesome.